Hi, my name is Lulu. I'm a compulsive overeater, and today we're going to continue on with our recording series on the promises in each of the promises of the program. And today we're going to focus, this recording focuses on interest in others grows, excuse me. Interest in others grows. Um, Any person, whether suffering from an addiction or not, would feel rewarded with the key to happy, fruitful living if he or she were the recipient of sobriety's sixth promise. It states we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. When we give up the bottle or the bakery, we also relinquish our envy and self-centeredness. We were extremely colorful liars about our success, how our hungry egos thrived. Alcoholics, food addicts are expert people pleasers, always hoping to influence others to respond with material or emotional rewards. Kindness, merely for the sake of feeling good, was an unthinkable waste of opportunity. Most of our eating, drinking was done to benefit only ourselves. We reveled in the false feelings of pleasure, power, and importance that alcohol brought us. Alcohol made us believe we were somebody. Even when misery followed a binge, we usually felt the lift we'd experienced was worth the price. Sadly, the agony got progressively worse. It is a drinker's self-centeredness that disregards the symptoms of our disease and the warnings of loved ones. Our egos, a potent factor during drinking, can continue to retard our spiritual progress. Few things in life are more rewarding than the realization that we enjoy helping others and sharing solutions instead of working overtime to attract attention to ourselves. We find that generosity without thought of return is a cure for problems. It becomes evident that people who share freely seldom sink into depression. We become aware that faulty thinking can be the root of our depression. Since reaction to people, places, and things is the source of depression, positive thinking depends on close contact with other people. That requires action. We need to focus outside of ourselves on the mainstream of life. Sharing is the key to enjoying the sixth promise. We begin to practice the slogan, "We can do what I can't." We all can do what I can't. By exchanging ideas and experiences with one another, we rid ourselves of emotions that enable selfishness to flourish. Pride, vanity, self-righteousness, jealousy, self-pity, resentment, and condemnation. Interest in others that prompts giving and sharing takes us far from that drunken existence where we complain that the world owed us a lot and never paid off. When sober, we do more than make friends. We understand how to be friends. Isn't that an amazing reading? This little booklet is just like a little gem, a little gem. It's so interesting, like, interest in others grows. That can only start to take place when I'm thinking of myself less. But how do I think of myself less when I'm all wrapped up in everything that's wrong with me and everything that I should be doing? And oh my God, this person thinks this of me, or oh my God, I'm fat. I mean, all this stuff is certainly like I'm going to say it again, the top of page 77, my real purpose is to fit myself to be of maximum service to God and those people about me. I can't be of service to other people. My interest in others will not grow if I am not doing what I need to do to stay fit, to be of maximum service to God and those people about me. And this is a real amazing plug for meetings and program and fellowship. I meant fellowship. The minute that I share my experience with others, and it might be all about me, but the minute I'm I'm talking about it at a meeting, and I've just exposed myself, and I've been feeling, I maybe feel vulnerable about what I've just said, but basically I've taken all this self and I've just put it out to um, um, the fellowship. And that is service to others. That is service to others. And it's also when I'm hearing you share to me, and I'm hearing your struggles, whether I'm hearing your struggles or I'm hearing um, your darkness, you are of service to me. Um, you know, this step 12 requires that we our interest in others grows. It's kind of like a requirement, but it's really interesting how with that practice, that almost seems like it's going to be, oh God, how am I going to make time for that? Oh, I don't want to hear other people's shit, you know? I mean, I got to listen to everybody. I'm not going to do a good job. I'm not going to know. I'm not going to know what to tell them what to do. How do I know? You know, um, that's, can you hear that interest in self? Interest in self. How am I going to look? How am I going to make time for this? How is that going to help? You know what I need? I need to like go to the gym. That's how I'm going to stay slim. And then I work with somebody else. Well, somebody else will work with somebody else. I'll show up a meeting. Oh, somebody else will share. Other people will share. I don't need to share. Oh, other people will lead. I don't need to lead. It's kind of like when you find yourself, you're um, when you're find yourself not making excuses for being just fully involved in this program. That's a sign that you're out of self. That was a sign for me. I was just like, I have to meet with my sponsor. I got meetings. I got kids. I was working full time at the time, and I'm like, now I'm supposed to do how many sponsees? Like one, maybe one, you know. And I had a sponsor that was working like with 18 a week, you know. Well, she was retired. I wasn't retired, and but even I am retired now. I don't work with 18, but that's her story, you know. She's not better than me. How about that? She's just different than me. And but the interest in others grows, and we need to also think about how the selflessness that we learn in this program is actually not just reserved for program and the people in program. Like it says in step 12, having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps. So as a result of these steps, my interest in others will grow because of my growing spiritual maturity as I continue on in this program. I try to carry the message to other compulsive overeaters. I can only try. I'm not that powerful to make anybody abstinent or tell anybody what their program should be. I know what I would suggest your program to be. It would only be what my program is because it's all I got. You know, I mean, it's like it's so interesting when like somebody comes to you and they've got this idea of what their program will be, but they come to me, they want what I have, but they want to do what they want to do. It's like, why don't you want to do what I want to do? You know, but you know something? That all comes, everything that I'm suggesting only comes from my interest in my interest, because my interest in you has grown. It's grown and it keeps growing so much that and to practice these principles in all my affairs. What do you think that's about? What are those principles that they're talking about that I'm going to practice in all my affairs? It's all the thing that showed me that my interest in others has grown. You know, the principle of honesty and hope and faith, courage, integrity, humility, self-discipline, you know, perseverance, all these things that I've learned here, service, love, spiritual awareness. I didn't have that before, you know. willingness, just willingness alone. It's just like, that's a huge thing to take. So you see, I practice these principles in all my affairs. I don't reserve it just for the fellowship, but the fellowship is where I develop the muscle. It's where I develop the muscle. When my interest in God grew, my interest in others could only grow, because God is really just everything, right? So if I'm interested in that, I guess I'd be interested in people, and maybe even the chipmunks that are eating my garden, even them. And it's really interesting, just to be so connected. My interest in others grows, even my interest in these little chipmunks. It's a good thing God made them cute, because it's like, I don't mind sharing, but geez, you're just really helping yourself out there. So then I got this really good tip. If you want to keep the chipmunks out of your garden, go find the entrance to their burrows, and leave them some things they like sunflower seeds. So I've been going out there every day with a bag of sunflower seeds, and there's 2 holes right next to each other on my lawn, and I put a handful down, and they just all disappear. I don't know how far down that tunnel goes. And yeah, I haven't seen them for a while. They're like, geez, who needs Lulu's garden now? We're being taken care of. God is good. They have no idea it's me, right? I'm even leaving them a little bit of water, because the advice I got said sometimes they'll go to your garden because they need moisture. So they'll just eat the greens. But I'll put a green bean plant in, and the next day all the leaves have been munched off, and I'm like, damn. And then I put another one in, and then the next day it's gone. They're still there now. So it's just so like I have a friend who has a garden, and his choice is to drown the chipmunks. He's got this whole contraption all set up so that when they come near the garden, they fall into this trap, and they're all just, so he spends the week cleaning out dead chipmunks and program. Although even before program, I don't know if I could have done that. I also don't think I would have been feeding them. I wouldn't feel like I was rewarding them. I wouldn't be so. My interest in them wouldn't have grown, but my interest in my garden would have been was growing strong, right? But I still don't think I would have drowned them. But you see, everybody comes from a different space. My principles that I bring to all my affairs, it's so easy to find out if you're on track. Would this make God smile? It would make God smile. Then I know I'm on the right track. With what I just did, said, thought, how would I feel if that was on the front page of the paper tonight? Would I be okay with that? If I'm not okay with that, then I might want to kind of look at the principles that I'm trying to practice in all my affairs, right? There's just a couple little guidelines that I picked up along the way. But it all comes down to it began with my spiritual journey, which is really what this whole program is about. And it became when I became interested in a relationship with God, just interested enough to entertain the idea and to listen, and to have that grow naturally. And then to have, to be part of a fellowship where I feel extremely interested in all of you. The way, like, without I don't feel a speck of competition or rank, or no matter how down, who's far down the scale, who's close to their goal, it doesn't matter. My interest in all of you, I know that my interest in others has grown, because my interest in you is based on things that actually matter. And then I learn everything here where I need to take it out to others that are not in program. And I just tell you, every day that I don't eat is a good day for anybody that comes in contact with me. All I have to do is just not eat, because I eat one bite because of everything I learned in this book. My interest in others will wilt. It won't grow, it will wilt. And my interest in myself will be crushed, and it will be like a shade will be pulled, and I'll just be in the dark again. I don't want to be in the dark, because this light, bright life just feels really good. And it really is about fitting myself to be of maximum service to God and those people about me, blah, 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 blah. Shalece, would you like to talk on this?
I actually didn't mean to raise my hand. I was clicking a button in participants, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, I thought you would tell me to shut up. You wouldn't be the first person that told me to shut up.
No, but I would love to share some thoughts if I may. Thank you so much. This is such a topic that's close to my heart, especially right now, as I'm personally feeling God growing me in this area of my interest in others, especially as a mother and as a sponsor and as a wife. Wow, I'm going to get teary a little bit. I just am so grateful to be in the space that I'm in today. Just to see how God can shift me out of myself so that I can really be of service to others, and to speak to sponsors, new sponsors. I just say, keep working your program and keep doing it, because God will move you as you work it, as you can continue, like Lulu said, we have to keep working and cultivating this relationship with God and our relationship with others in order for that to grow. And my experience has been, where I was in self with sponsorship, was I was afraid to say things that needed to be said, because I was afraid that I would hurt the other person's feelings, or they might think blah, 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 blah of me. And God has just very recently, we're going to say yesterday, moved me into a space where I could speak what needs to be spoken, and do it with gentleness, kindness, and power. And that's just a huge shift for me, because I'm more of a reserved person, like I say, and just seeing that my interest, and coming from where I'm coming from, a place of, when I'm saying these things, a place of a desire to guide or direct my sponsees toward recovery, and not allow whatever it is that needs to be said, like not saying that can actually allow them to move away from it if I'm not bold enough to say it. And so it was interesting, kind of the thought came to me the other day, that, I kind of felt when I needed to say these things that I was like going into battle, and I felt and kind of heard God say to me, like, put down your sword, Shalece. You're on the same team. Take off your battle pants. Like, you are on the same team with your sponsee. You yourself want long-term recovery, and you're interested in the long-term recovery. You're invested in the long-term recovery of your sponsee. So if you see something that is going to affect that you're aware of, and maybe your sponsee is not, you need to make them aware of that. And my sponsor helped me with experiences that she had in the same thing, just seeing where she shifted out of that, shifted into being the person that needs to say those, say those things, because who else is going to say it? And can my saying what needs to be said, help someone to not go back into the food, or to move them even further along into their growth into a different space. And so that, I think, for me, and again, not just in program, but I'm seeing it with my family, I'm seeing it with my daughters. God's showing me how to again, let go of that fear, let go of the sword, and realize, we're just on the same team. We all want to be moving in the same direction. So what needs to be said doesn't need to be like a It's not a confrontation. It's a conversation, and it's clarifying. It's not a, I was looking at these conversations that I needed to have with my sponsees or my children or my husband as difficult conversations. And now God is showing me that they're clarifying conversations. We just need to have some clarity. And so, what a gift that, what a gift. I am so grateful to be growing in this area. I'm grateful for the pain that I experienced in this area also, because I think it's that pain that kind of asked, moved me into the growth there. Keep working it, keep doing it. If you're not doing it, I invite you to do it. Work this program. It's so worth it. You're so worth it. And that's pretty much all I've got to share. Lulu, do you have anything else you want to say on this topic?
I guess I was just thinking about when you were saying that, I was thinking about how when your interest in your sponsee grew bigger than your discomfort with self. You see, that was kind of like, that was like the next step in growth in that area. Was just say, my interest in you has grown so much that I have to just forget about how this makes me feel, and I need to do what I need to do, because, especially with sponsoring, because that is full blown interest in somebody else. It's like, oh, it's like total interest. When somebody wants to work this, I mean, what is more exciting and interesting and meaningful to do with any day? I've already had 3 different unexpected things to work on with helping other people and stuff. And it's like, it wasn't in my plan, but something, like I always say, my plan's in pencil and God's got the ink. God had me working on other things, some step 10, some step 5, some other people's step 10s I don't even, don't work with. And it's like, I mean, it feels like a priority because of that intense interest in other people. That's what it really is. And I was just blessed with it. I was blessed with it. I don't know where it came from. I was as self-centered as absolutely everybody else in this program. Trust me, if you see my 4th step, pretty nasty. But yeah, that's what I got.